Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 186. Let's talk Zen updates for X1, as well as our market update for the day. We're going to start off with our market update. I hope everyone's having a good day. We had a great update from Zen as a weekly update, and uh, yeah, it's been a good day. Our top three news lines for the day. Um, uh, uh, top of the line is Elizabeth Warren does not speak for the left on crypto. Politicians like Elizabeth Warren have created a reputation, the political left, as the enemies of crypto. The truth is more complicated. Um, Interesting story feed there piece. Please look at that up because there's some good digging there. Former FTX executive Nishad Singh negotiating guilty plea on fraud charges, reported by Bloomberg. Nishad Singh, former executive at bankrupt Bahamas-based cryptocurrency exchange FTX.com, may be leaning towards pleading guilty to fraud charges for his involvement in the company's last November bankruptcy filing, um, as well as nifty news. For those of you who know Nifty Wallet, um, really good piece there. Um, Yuga Labs is in the doghouse over Kennel Club logo. NFT marketplace wars rage on and more. The logo for a popular Yuga Labs NFT collection is being changed after it was seemingly ripped off from a follow-along children's drawing creator. Um, and it's one of the things that sort of sucks about doing things new. Um, Fear and Greed Index. Greed is at 58. Coin of the day for market sentiment is STX. Liquidations, longs at 8.6 million, shorts at 7.1 million. Market is bearish at a 49.33 out of 100, with a buy pressure of 47.23 and a sell pressure of 52.77. Bybit longs at 117 million, with 119 million shorts placed in the last 24 hours. Uh, BTC dominance is at 40.33%, DeFi dominance at 40.31. That is up 0.01% from yesterday. USDT dominance is up 0.02% from yesterday at a current 6.02. Total market cap today in the last 24 hours is 1.168 trillion, with total 24-hour volume of 82.7 trillion. DeFi volume in the last 24 hours is 4.036 billion. Good little piece action there. Number one trending search is STX, followed by Blur. Secondary is Access Protocol. Radiant Capital at number 4. Conflux at number 5. And Gala at number 6. Some interesting things going there. Big movers of the day. We have on Binance Futures, FLM in USDT is up 4.63% in the last 36 minutes. Pretty good push there. Coinbase Pro, that STX USDT is up 4.11%. Some of the spots we have for the day, we have Wing USDT holding at 9.2. We have a stop loss at 8.4. Target 1 is at 10.219. Target 2 is 11.148. And target 3 is 12.077. We'll see how that goes out on that piece today. We have Orion, ORN, USDT, holding at 1.12. We have our target 1 at 1.2507. We have target 2 at 1.3644. Target 3 at 1.4781. Good piece action there. We also have our main piece today. little bit of interesting piece. ZRX USDT holding at 0.24, stop loss at 0.22. Target 1 was hit at 0.26. Target 2 is 0.2904. Target 3 is 0.3146. See how that goes for the day. And then target 1 for our fallow was hit, and Porto is scalped at our high risk of the day. It was 3.18. Target 1 is 3.54178. Target 2 is 3.86376, and target 3 is 4.18574. We have a stop loss at 2.90. Going to be interesting piece there. Atom USDT, we have a holding at 4.22. We have a long set at 16.1645. Target 2 at 17.634. Target 3 at 19.1035 with a stop loss at 13.2. So we'll see how that goes, and we hope that will push out a little bit. And we'll see what that looks like. Ape USDT is up 14%, about to hit, coming in close on target 1. Got in at 5.3, stop loss at 4.8. Target 1 is 5.8828. Target 2 is 6.4176. Target 3 at 6.9524. We'll see what that looks like and let you know how that pops out. Lido USDT, we have hit our third target today, which made for a good piece on that, and glad to see that moving along. Other pieces too. Crypto Citizen is doing well on Binance. If you can get a chance to take a look at that, Cash, see what's going on there. Total raised right now is over $650,000 for their LP generation event. We have an amazing thing going on. Just want to do a quick side shout out to Miss Jennifer. Happy to have you join us tonight. Hope you are doing well. Kill shot. And then at the same time, we have some really amazing things going on in getting ready for ETH Denver. That's going to be a good travel piece there, followed by just doing our weekly update on DeFi finance with over 14 chains supported currently. We've been using them for a lot of our DeFi plays, getting our high interest pieces in. Have been a really good piece there. Really excited in the coming weeks for Savvy DeFi. Savvy DeFi is going to be promoting some really good pieces there with their over collateralization, non liquidating, self repaying loan piece. And as we take a quick side step to say what's up to TB, hope everything is good on your end. And then I'm going to talk about Axelar for a little bit. Axelar has been doing some really good things, getting ready with their bridge to solidify you over to any chain, EVM chain, as well as into both the Polkadot ecosystem and the Cosmos ecosystem. They got some really cool things coming up. I'm really excited about Interlope conference coming up in Denver next week. Actually, that's going to be in Denver later on this week. Going to be on the road, basically part of Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we'll be on the road from New York to Denver. So that'll be a fun piece to get back on the road, get to the next conference cycle. It's starting early this year, guys. And so that'll be really good. The other piece, doing a quick recap on Zen and what Zen's been doing. So Zen is getting ready to launch their NFTs on Phantom. So Phantom is the next chain that Zen NFTs are coming out on, and that was confirmed today. Today's actually a weekly update. What's been happening in the week of Zen? Was up on stage talking. Got to sort of drop it in Senzu's ear. And we have to talk about some stuff with Moonbeam. But after Phantom, Avalanche or Moonbeam might be the two chains that are up next on the Zen. Already doing a lot of stuff there, and it's really cool to see how much the community is growing. And what it's really pushing is multiple chain approach to life. One chain does not rule them all. One of the interesting things that we're going to be covering in this next week are ordinals, basically hashtaggings of specific satoshis or sats. I remember the days of trading satoshis or sats, um, and so and the days of trading bitcoins via paper. One of the things that ordinals do is they help bring a lot of block structure into place for a more complete picture, but also for individually hashing and tagging what something might be tied to. There's still a lot of theory going on it, on what it will look like long term, if it can be used. Um, Even so far that someone burned one of their I don't remember if it was a mutant ape or a bored ape that they burnt to add to an ordinal on Bitcoin, basically tying one Satoshi to a hash showing proof that it's tied to their NFT, thus burning their original NFT. And so we'll see if that brings a lot of value to that piece. But it was sort of actually good to see. What they have going on. And as always, a quick shout out to Time and Lady Daydow. I hope all is well on your end and neck of the woods. Um, we have some really cool stuff coming out with Clopper. Um, Clopper's bringing a pretty cool twist to NFTs. Right now, one of the biggest things with NFTs is proof of ownership. Um, but what happened if your NFT had proof of ownership of other NFTs? So it wasn't necessarily any individual that owned an NFT, but an NFT. So the idea behind it is bringing more value to an NFT by that NFT owning other NFTs. They've been working really hard. It's a team out of France that's been working on this. Got to meet them a year ago, and they gave me a call last week saying they have figured it out. So it's sort of amazing to see that going on, and really happy to see uh, that building there. So people are still building, and that's been a really amazing thing. People call this a bear market, but I'm bullish because everyone is still building. You know, uh, in a true bear, people close shop. You know, all people have really been doing is tightening belts. Um, and so that's been one of the really, and they've been going down and grinding. Just want to welcome up Miss Jennifer and TB. Thank you for joining. And Time, thank you for joining as well. How are you, Miss Jennifer?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I've been doing well. Been a little traveling, so Taco Bites have been quick bites the last couple nights. So not completely out of style, but just having to do it multiple times in a row has sort of sucked. But you know, yeah. How has life been?
Life has been a little crazy, but we are all doing okay.
Good crazy or crazy crazy?
It's been a little crazy, crazy. A little cray cray, but
No
it's
crack
alright.
crack.
A
All
little cray
right.
cray, but
How many
we're.
headshots do you have done today?
I have really been off my game today. I
Only
finally
five.
just turned the Xbox off. I'm like, mm-mm.
Okay. All right. All right. You been getting busy with anything lately? Or I know last year you talked about waiting for the new year to start and wait to see how everything sort of settles out to start making new plays, getting
Yes.
into things. How's that going so far?
I have not yet had some family business come up, so I haven't been able to dig in as much as I would like to, but hopefully I will have time to do so.
Okay. Well,
That
hey,
that is the plan.
hey, the plan, oh, well kept plan is a plan till it starts, and so then always got to take care of what's important. Number one thing, the Degen way of saying take care of what's important is saying go touch grass, but that can be done in so many different ways. But it's one of those things that's just sort of done to as a reminder to um, take care of the responsible things.
Oh yeah, got to
So
take care of the fams.
yeah, TB, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm pretty good, Taco. I'm pretty good.
Life good on the fast lane?
Yeah, trying to keep up with Jack is no joke, right?
It is. It's one of those things where I've seen a lot of the writing on the wall, been able to call a lot of some of the things moving out, but at the same time, then there's so many moving parts. It's one of those things where are these sideshows? Where's the main event happening? You know, distractions and where do you throw your cups of tea?
Well, for me, X1, I guess, is going to be big, but Phoenix is the one that I like of the ones that are coming. That's
Okay.
Joe Blau is one. Joe Blau is one. He, just so you know, I don't know if you know this, but when Zen launched, he actually built Zen.fyi, and it's a front end that worked. And when Zen launched and crashed for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
his his front end worked.
Okay.
So all the Zenians were able to get through the little hiccup at the start
Oh,
because they all
the
knew the
Polygon, the with the
no,
Polygon
no, no,
NFTs.
no. Going back to Zen, going back to
Oh,
day one, he built
okay.
this in Telegram. He built it before Zen launched. He was ready to go. He was
Okay.
ready to go. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
one of the guys on Phoenix. There's two of them.
Nice. Yeah, no, I got in during that first week, was there for day one, but I wanted to wait, see how it went a little bit. Um, and then, especially once, moved over to the other chains and got in, was there right along. I've been pushing Moonbeam like crazy on that. And so um that's where I've been sort of throwing my hat into everything. Um, just because it it's an ecosystem that is ripe for some awesome movement, and yeah, just seeing that come along has been really awesome. So it has me excited, you know.
Good, same. It's hard not to be excited with the amount of different things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
really.
yep, yeah. It's one of those things to where there's some projects you sort of see like, all right, cool, this is doing something different. Um, and getting in with some early layer ones is always a fun thing um, to really do and check out. And so, really actually makes me excited about what's building.
I see. I noticed that you like Avalanche as well, which is great because it's the least popular, uh, according to Zenians. You know.
So, Avalanche, Phantom, and Moonbeam are actually the um, three least ones. And where I pulled this data is I pulled all of the wallet addresses from the six main chains. Um, ETH, Binance, Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, and Moonbeam, and pulled them all into a spreadsheet, and then did a wallet comparison across um, to so if there was any of the same wallets in any of the other chains, they would I did conditional formatting, and then from there I then separated, and then I did ratio talk between how many wallets are spread out, and then how many are individualistic, and the three chains that were I'm not saying the most shaded, but that had the best ratios of new users versus for room for growth was Phantom, Avalanche, and Moonbeam. So, um, with Sun confirming today that Phantom's going to be the next chain for um, Zen NFTs, it's time to get to work on getting more Phantom in the pocket. So setting up LP pools. Right now, I'm working with my decks to get LP pools put in place for Moonbeam Zen. So we're trying to see if we can get that going. So yeah,
Nice. It's music to my ears
yeah,
to know that you're keeping an eye on it. You know what I mean? It's good for the community too, that you're keeping an eye on it.
yeah. It's good and it's fun. It's one of those things to where you know, for decks, I have to deal. It's We're growing decks. We just passed a year old. We just hit $1 billion in trades in AMM, and we've taken some knocks and punches along the way, both from Terra Luna crash to the Nomad bridge hack. But we're still the largest decks on Moonbeam, and at times the largest decks in Polkadot. So really trying to push that forward. You know,
Can you name it? Because I didn't
uh,
actually catch the
Stel-
name there.
Stella Swap.
Oh yes, okay. Someone did. Yeah, okay. That's been put on my radar. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yep. And we just what we where the team's all been focused right now is we've been so you can't technically fork Uniswap v3 like you can fork Uniswap v2. So we have Uniswap v2 fork for our LP pools, but um, at the same time, we have been coming out with what we call Pulsar, our concentrated liquidity V3 pools, and so really been working on that. And so I started a Moonbeam Glimmer pool, and right now I'm working to convince the team that we need to whitelist it and have it labeled, listed out so other people can add to it. Um, and I'm working on both a Stella uh, Zen pool or X Stella, and then I'm working on a um, what's the word I'm thinking of? A Glimmer Zen pool as well. So those are the two things I have on my radar that I'm trying to build out. So um,
If you need Zinni and eyes on any of that, make sure you let me know. I got you.
I will. I will. Yeah. So that's the big piece that I have moving on that piece that I can contribute to. And I know we were talking a little bit about DAO stuff, and wondering if that help is still needed and how we can go about doing something like that. And so, yeah, some fun stuff there. But yeah, um, time. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, what's up, Doc? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just going through a lot of things right now. I've been sending a few people to different like in real life events. It came from an event. I got people out there right now. We gave some tickets to go to see Snoop perform in Long Beach. They doing Cali vibes out there. We attended a few different things with Portal, I think. Yeah, I think crypto citizens, I believe. Um,
Okay.
did some things with them, but I'm mainly focused on trying to just get more people, understanding about, this whole thing. So being in the rooms with you sometimes, that kind of like, uplifts my knowledge on even, what decks, types things, everything, in regards to a lot of techie stuff that maybe I don't have the full knowledge of. Sometimes I do a lot of sports. So when it comes to, NBA basketball all stars, I had somebody go out there and do show out there that I deal with the when it comes to music and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, it's been like a pretty exciting couple weeks right now. And then looking forward, I just picked up a penguin from we saved a penguin in Africa or whatever. It's a East Denver thing, so I don't know anybody knows about it, but it's just it was donated to save a penguin and stuff like that. So we did that. I did that. But yeah, I'm really trying to make it out there to East Denver and like uh be more involved in the community and stuff like that, so it's a journey that I'm enjoying the ride. And even though I don't have a lot of people who are necessarily supporting a lot of the causes without what I'm trying to have achieved, I know that the end results and the end goal is still it's still achievable. And it's just a mission and a journey that we on. So it's been pretty exciting. What else I've been up to? I think I'm going tomorrow to another event. Matter of fact, with Dr. Lemney gonna be out there, I believe. She one of the
Okay.
artists for Black History Month.
Nice.
I think we kind of we lose track on that, and being a minority myself, and doing a few things for us, as well as indigenous uh, Native Americans and stuff like that I've been doing. I got I'm gonna have another poem probably linked to one of my things that I'm gonna create for Eat Denver and stuff like that. I was gonna say though, but yeah, I think when it comes to like this is Black History Month, and like it kind of we can lose focus on celebrating that aspect of the month. I know as personally me, it's 24/7, 365, so it doesn't change for me. But when it comes to being able to celebrate and actually, um, be present in the moment of the time period in which I'm living in, I try to make sure I dedicate time and support those who are disadvantaged, and those who do need support, because it's still an unbalanced system. However anybody looks at it, still I still go into these events, and I still be anywhere I'm at, and I still don't see representation as I would like to see. And it's just the way of life, and we just it's a building process. That is the journey. And just me being in present and being in the places where I'm at, I look at that as I'm gonna be like Rick James, I'm coming and rub my feet on the couch. I'm gonna make my presence felt, and just make sure that I get more people involved and acclimated into the culture, and being a part of the growing which we're doing, and be able to make that impact that we need in order for us to create the change in which we talk about.
Yeah. When are you going to be getting out to Denver?
I'm looking at I don't know, like I had I had aspirations of going on the 24th, but I don't think that's going to happen at all. Um, so I'm waiting for to see what these sponsors are going to talk about on the 20 or for Wednesday, on Wednesday. So they
Okay.
said they're going to give me some information about whether or not it'd be possible. If not, then I got to just try and do it on my own, like I had to for Miami. And that
Okay.
became a whole debacle of situation with the CEO Jason, just
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, it's not going full into what it's all about. I just feel like it was no respect in the whole situation. Like, you want me to make sure I have contracts with everybody I have conversations with. That's what it seems like to me. Like, I gotta have a NDA signed with everybody I talk to for me to be able to have a conversation now. Or, I mean, that's how it looks like you want me to lead to in the long run.
Yeah. Well, that's with some organizations, they're farther along than everyone else, and they're trying to they're from my opinion, how they do it might not be the greatest way, but what they're trying to do is be doing a lot of things right. But they're doing things at a pace before everyone else is even there, which sort of leaves a lot of people, in my opinion, you know, standing in the dust like, hey, you told me to show up. I showed up. Now, you didn't pre-tell me I had to have all these I's dotted and T's crossed. Don't mind doing the legwork. I know you definitely don't mind doing legwork. Um, but when, some of that stuff isn't said in advance, it's one of those things where it can lead to bad bad blood without it being intended to be bad blood. And I know that you totally took it, you know, you took the high road on that, and you looked out for your sponsors,
Okay,
which
look,
you know,
I look at my bad. I don't mean to catch up. I look at it like this. I think everything was achieved when I sit there and I look back and I see what you accomplished. And how you was able to actually um uh gain something from that experience. So having that opportunity to be able to be a part of, whether personally was there or whether by relations or by by however we want to say that like I feel like I was a part of, or I helped to be a part of what you accomplished, and I appreciate being able to support you, or and even being able to share your success in the matter. And I think that advancing in this whole system, in what we're building. I got people who build on Phantom right now, when it comes to down to things that we do. And so like I was in the room and enjoyed it, what I mean, for what it was worth, that I was able to be around, and develop, a few in real life, connection with a few people that kind of go here and there. But just to see what you was able to bring away from that, I was, that gave me a little bit of a satisfaction, I guess.
yeah, no, that was a blast to walk away with what I walked away with. And just the overall being there piece, it's a testament to those that that show up everywhere that they can. But it's also one of those things where when other people work to help that happen, it's got to be acknowledged, and that's why it was across, helping out, and the support from Lady Daydow to get down there was a kick in the right direction. So yeah,
Yeah, and matter of fact, what I did today is I developed a mud game map. I don't know if anybody knows what mud games are, but yeah, I developed a map for a mud game that we play on Saturdays. It's called Battle for Evermore. If anybody ever hears about it, it'll be a part of Eat Denver too. They'll have a thing with I want to say Infinite Keys. Infinite Keys, I believe, will be with Battles for Evermore, and it'll be something that I wish more people will be encouraged to find out more about, as it's a game that's a real thing with friends that just aspire to keep driving this going forward. And you can actually play the game right now with or without the characters. You just sign on, and if you do have characters like Ape, or I mean yeah, Apes, or at a bomber, or a few different other premier projects that the ethos are, that everything lines up. You can use your character that you already have as NFT, and you can use that in the game and play as well. And you have your own, different abilities to do stuff. But even without any of that, if you have a MetaMask, you can just get in there and play with some of the. You got three different players, I believe. It's one of us like a like a warrior, and then you have like a couple two other ones I can't remember right now, that you can sit there and play with, and just experience it, and that's just when it comes to the gaming side of what I try to continue to do.
nice, nice, nice. How have you seen that going with a little bit of everything else that you've been going on? Is it falling in line with everything that you've been running with Lady Daydow, and how do you see that expanding in what you're doing?
I see that as a gateway to be able to give people the opportunity to experience, NFTs and being able to experience the opportunity that you have to have a decentralized wallet and just to have the whole knowledge base that you need for you to be able to to go forward in this ecosystem which we're developing. Like I think it falls aligned with everything that I'm doing when it comes to getting people more involved, and that's just kind of like the thing I kind of try to keep on pushing forward and doing with everyone. So it's always going to be a challenge, and to get people to um, understanding, you know, uh, not your keys and not your cheese, not like understanding, even understanding, links and understanding how to sign your own your transaction and to take accountability for what you are doing and having you being able to understand that whole that whole process right there. I think it's just something that is it's not like I'm playing 007 though. So, when it comes to med gaming, that has a specific kind of uh uh geographic kind of individuals who play that type of stuff, like, people who are part of or understand like what Dungeons and Dragons type stuff, or like even understanding like um gaming that's more tactile and you're reading a lot more and you're actually participating differently and you're on a journey that that you pick your own destination.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I like it. Me personally, I like it, but it's like it's everybody has their own, and it's just it's just one of the options that I try to provide for people so that they're able to, if that's what they like, they can go that direction. If you like to do art, I got another thing for that. If you like to do if you're an artist, like you do music, like I got a platform about to come out in about another month or so that I have a few different artists that are more they're not into that much. They're trying to understand, and as being understanding, I'm trying to get to break that barrier for them. And so that's what the platform, when I'm starting to, what I'm have some of the artists that I deal with, I'm gonna have them on that platform so they can experience some of the things that we're doing with that. Hopefully, people like Nessie will be some of the people who might and get, add something to it. Maybe Spotty Wi-Fi. If those some friends that I have developed in my time, and I enjoy um, having them as my friends as well as having the opportunity to provide something that might be something that is like a blur to open sea.
Yeah. I'm I totally dig spotty Wi-Fi. Nessie is amazing. I got to be in his music video for when he did shot his music video in Vegas. Um, so that was pretty fun to be able to be part of that. Um, but talk about a dad that works both ends of the candle. He grinds hard, and I dig it. Um, are you going to be going to South by Southwest at all?
I'm gonna have to see what my situation is after this Eat Denver event, because that's my main goal right now. And then I got like NFTLA. I got people are trying to push me in all different directions and
Yeah,
have me, yeah. But it's like, in the end of the day, is like I kind of need some kind of financial abilities for me to be able to even attend the things that I'm doing, besides digging holes in my own pocket in order for me to be putting this opportunity out here for the community, which I'm trying to help provide for. Last year we donated like 2 truckloads of toys for the homeless. Trying to continue to do something like that this year. And then to keep on providing a lot of resources for people from all over. Like I have a few different people who even were in Miami were not able to attend Miami, and they're minorities, and that's it was like why didn't you attend? And it was because of the scene and how they felt with the North American Bitcoin conference. And I was like, well, it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
You just you gotta go out there and experience it yourself. And I guess like but at the same time is I can't make somebody else. I could show you the water, but I can't make you drink it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that was one of those things where a lot of people, had reservations about it. The organization being used to being, the North American Bitcoin Conference, but like Jason and Kim and like sort of how they are working to divest it, I guess you could say, diversify, uh, you know, who they're serving, but like the audience, they brought a lot to the table this year, in my opinion. And I think they did well, but for the public, it's one of those things where having the stigma of being the North American Bitcoin Conference and going into a different route, I think it will do a lot better next year. Now that people see how that all went, and then especially after Abu Dhabi later on this year, will really push that that spread. I think. So, and you're right when it comes to talking about monetizing your time for conferences. Because I think one person said it best. Uh, oh my gosh, it was Ethos. She said it really good. If you're not monetizing on it, it's just a hobby. If you're not pulling profits. So, and that's one of those things where it's I get a little harassed because if anything, break even or just, make just under what it cost. And, so that helps spread that. But it's one of those things where you're still digging in your own pocket. It sort of sucks, but it's one of those things where, you know, if you're not, this is one of those things. If you're behind a computer screen, you'll only learn so much. If you're in person, that's where I've actually been able to learn the most or spread the most knowledge, like because you were at Web3 Summit too, time, and when I was pulled up on stage to talk on, kings of Web3, being an ally, um, we ended up pulling Tangible Peach up to share the stage with us because it was sort of weird to talk about inclusion but not have any of that inclusion on stage, you know. Um, and they talked about Atlanta X, and so I don't necessarily know if I'm going to be able to make it to NFTLA. It's definitely on the calendar, but after South by Southwest, it's looking, I might be heading over to Miami for NFT Miami, but might be able to stop in Atlanta on the way for Atlanta X, which would be cool before NFT NYC. So that's the big piece there, you know.
That's dope. Hey, that's dope. Yeah, I gotta. Well, even when it comes to Atlanta, I know they had offered me the travel arrangements for me to get out there for an event. I don't think it's the same one, but it was like that's all. That's kind of, and give me a booth and stuff like that. And I owe that all, matter of fact, to what I did at LA Blockchain Summit in LA with Alon and the Draper Gordon Home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to be a part of that and represent, and keep on and provide a few different aspects of what I was trying to achieve, and link up with a few different great individuals, and when like you said, like when it comes to in real life, like it was a better experience than I had with NFTLA the first time, and as well as Expoverse. Like it was a lot more family oriented, based on the fact that I've been in the Draper Gordon Homes um community for a while, and just to have the opportunity to connect with some people who I've been talking to for a while, and Baron Davis and stuff like that, and having to even though we're not on the same uh, um, blockchain when it comes to what I like to be involved in. Like I mean, I have a near wallet and everything. I got a lot of. I mean, I like a lot of different things, especially even the optimism. I like Algorand. I've been been in conversation with Algorand for a while. So my point is that like you said, with in real life, it's a whole lot different than on a computer, and just through an app on the phone. But like that's why I switched over from being on the app so much and being actually more in forecaster, and just trying to um divide my time a better way for me to be able to provide more for others, and not dig so deep far into my pocket for me to be able to achieve that for the greater good of the space. I think one of my the thing about it is, when I first started this, years ago, 2020, 2021 is one of the project, NFTP dot fund, which is Rainbow Rolls, which they'll be presenting at Eve Denver again. Uh, you know, Having the opportunity to actually, generate 7 point something plus million for us to give to people who are having issues in the pandemic was something that inspired me to actually create Lady Day DAO, or be a part of the people who helped to create Lady Day DAO. As a founder myself, as well as a lot of other of the founders who helped to achieve that goal. It's there now. It's just pushing it forward with the community that we're able to achieve the heights of which a lot of other groups haven't been able to achieve. And it's just that process, that life is never going to be easy. Nobody said
Yep.
it was.
Yeah, no, I want to circle back on two pieces. It was one of those things where you were talking about Algorand. Um, so I'd met PJ, the founder of Algorand, last year in Paris during Paris Blockchain Week. Officially, we'd met a couple times at a couple different Algoranches, but then getting to hang out and have coffee in Paris was pretty amazing. But then getting to see him again, both at the LA Blockchain Summit, and then again at Quantum Miami, was pretty good. And I haven't really worked with any projects on Algorand, but I've done some DeFi stuff, Degen things there. But I like what's going on there. Um, Baron Davis, you know, it's sort of hilarious. Flip gave me the down low on Baron a little bit, because like I went there just thinking like, oh, this is a guy that was in some sort of sports that is going with his music career, and like me and Flip talked a minute about what Baron's actually doing, and so it's cool to see that transition, and for others to have that vision to future think like that. Um, and near I've I like the tech on near. I got hunted by. I asked for a friend because I have a couple connections over at the business development side at near. Um, I have it's not beef per se, so I've been calling it tofu. I got tofu with one of the BDs there just because me and him bumped heads on some shit that I think once we see each other again and talk it out, it'll be good because it's sort of interesting to see how that stuff can, when behind a keyboard, how different things can be versus being IRL, Um, before we sort of go back to like main topic, just want to do a quick shout out to Breaking, Leo Max, Denny, and TJ for joining tonight. We're covering a little bit of everything, as we've covered a little bit on Beefy, um, did a quick recap on uh, the Zen recap of the week, and we're going to be deep diving down onto that again in a little bit. But um, you want to talk about what Lady Daydao is doing?
Um, Lady Day Dow is just it's still curating a whole community, basically, and just getting a lot more involved with a lot of DEI initiatives, and getting a whole lot more women involved. Like when I went to Miami, like again, like I had like 4 or 5 minority women that was able to actually attend and be a part of everything that we do, and as a blessing as it was, they developed a whole lot of good contacts and relations, and they aren't necessarily from the native of Miami, but they're one was Jasmine, she's a tech in Texas, and then and yeah, so Lady Day Dow, it's just continuing to educate. Like if you jump inside the Discord, you could see a whole lot of things that we've been doing when it comes to being providing information, and there's a initiative that we're trying to bring forth with like I said, the Native Americans, which I am a Native American, so touch home and touch base on a lot of things that we're doing, and as the time goes on, we're working on something. So I really don't want to talk about what that necessarily is unless you're in the Discord. You can find a lot more out about what it is that we're trying to get involved with that part of everything. But in regards to Lady Day Dow and just how we're trying to continually onboard the community. That's why today is the last day for the California Vibes that we had that we had tickets for people to be able to experience, with Snoop and the whole um, performing arts part side of what we also been a part of, like um, and the music community, which we are a part of, that we will be performing at different venues and stuff like that. We have a place in Hollywood that we will have available to us once a month, as well as um, a few different things that we have like planned for, like NFTLA is one of the things with the with being able to have um AR digital screens that will be uh showing different commercials and stuff like that, which we are intending to have there at the event as well. They were supposed to be a part of the Quantum Miami event, but they
Yeah.
went with the Minibles, I think the name of the digital screens that were there.
Okay.
We remember downstairs they had the it's uh bit 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 basil, no bit
Yeah. Bit Basil was downstairs.
yes,
Yeah.
their screens that, like, so they had the screens right there that were Minibles or something like that. I can't remember if that's the right name or something, but
Yeah.
so there's screens like that that we that I've been working with people create those, and yeah, so we're making an effort to have people in the community have those projects which they are able to curate and and uh, and they have presentable. We'll put those on the screens that will be it will be displayed, and they'll be a lot more 3D and animated and more uh, uh, personable, I guess. When it comes to the visual side of which we are trying to help provide for people to be involved in and see and help to promote the ethos of what we're doing when it comes to having more presentation by being in people's eyes, but having it from the minorities and women who are involved.
Yeah. And that's one of those things that it's an important thing to be able to do and provide. Um, I've seen, it's one of those things where, you know, it, it's getting the chance to do things right, and making sure that not only that all voices are heard, because some people have voices, but they don't want to speak, but they do want to be present. And so not only giving an opportunity for someone to be there, to have a voice, but giving a chance for people to participate, is one of those things that really sets the doers apart, you know, the doers from the sayers, in a way. Um, so yeah, no, anything else you want to touch on that time before we move on back over, before we move back over to Zen?
No, no, that was it. I appreciate giving me the time, and I'm just excited to be here. And I'm not very well uh um I don't talk that much, but I've been around you for a while, so maybe that made me more comfortable to even talk about anything that I do. But um yeah, just appreciating and support. So just keep on doing what you're doing, and I definitely always will continue to be who I am, and yeah, that'll be represented by the actions in which I keep on doing.
All right. Well, um, sometimes when you don't know how to say thank you, you just, thank you. I'm glad that we've made that relationship to where a friendship to where you feel comfortable enough talking about what it is you're doing so that other people can hear it and know more, yeah. So it will be good to see you in Denver, you know. So that'll be good. Um, but yeah, no. I do see quick, as I always do, shout out to new people that joined. Dennis, I see you there today. Welcome, welcome. And so as we do a quick reset, is Taco Bites, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 186. Tonight, we've been talking a little bit about beefy finance, ETH Denver coming up, Lady Daydow, what's been going on with time and what's been going on there, what's been building out. We did a quick recap on what Zen's been doing, but it is one of those things to where uh, always, there's so many moving parts to Zen at times. It's one of those things where uh, do we have the time to know what is the focus of people? And TB, I know you and I were talking a little bit about Phoenix. Phoenix is how I've been saying it. I know you're supposed to say Phoenix, but I've been saying Phoenix.
Can I
Um,
tell you something, Taco?
okay.
Phoenicians. We're called the Phoenicians, by the way.
Oh, Phoenicians. Okay. Can I tell you? I will. I like Phoenicians. I like Phoenicians. Do you want to? I don't know if you've seen my hashtag for Zen, but Zen friends.
I already love it. I'll start using it immediately. Yeah.
It's and FRENS doesn't need to be anything like no Z's in it to but Zen friends. Zenians just sounds like out of this world, you know, not and because friends to all, you know, not gonna come along and probe you. But yeah, no. Denny, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good, thanks, man. I don't know how long you guys have been how long you've been running the show. I just kind of hopped in a couple minutes ago, but that Lady Day Dowd sounded pretty damn cool. I just started following those guys over on Twitter, and
Yeah,
yeah, just listening in. I had no idea you've been having these talks. Number 186. It's awesome.
yeah. This is yeah, TacoBytes. Started doing spaces as soon as Clubhouse. Well, ran away from Clubhouse. So as soon as Twitter Space opened up, ran away from Clubhouse and started running shows. Moved off of YouTube pretty much because I make a ton of content, but I hate producing or editing content, so I never did editing. I'll leave that to someone else. I just live it like I like it raw and uncut, one shot, famous. And so almost 6 months ago, started off with Taco Bites on a Taco Tuesday. So
Nice.
um,
You,
yeah,
you said you were in Denver, is that right?
I am not in Denver right now, but I will be. I'm on the East Coast
Okay.
right now in New York. So
Right on.
yeah,
Is East Coast your home base, or you West Coast, or what?
right now East Coast is home base. New York is home base. I've been on the road for like the last year and a half, on the conference circuit nonstop. So
Okay, okay. Right on,
yeah,
man.
but it's been one of those things, So yeah, no, it was a good Zen recap today, I think. For those that might have missed it, one of the things that Sun Tzu did confirm is that Phantom is going to be the next release of Zen NFTs. So, and TB and I were talking about that earlier. Phantom been one of Zen's what's the word I'm thinking of? Least appreciated. The three chains that have been least appreciated by Zen so far has been Moonbeam, Phantom, and AVAX. That data I pulled out through pulling all wallet holders for Zen off of every chain, and then conditional formatting, same value. And so if it's on one list, it's on another. Deleted those and did the ratio piece to that, and Moonbeam it has the most room to grow, followed by Phantom, and then Avax. But those three are the three redheaded stepchildren of Zen so far.
Interesting. Do you happen to
So
remember the numbers for each network off the top of your head?
off the top of my head, no, but I can pull that spreadsheet up in 20 seconds if you want to fill in that space.
Yeah, that'll give me enough time to go grab a pen and paper here.
All right. TB, or time. I see your hand up, sir.
Yeah, I was just gonna talk while you go ahead and do that, and I was gonna ask a few questions because you out there in New York, and one of our friends, Free, just went out there and like shut down New York. Fashion week. It's no NYFFW.
Okay.
New York Fashion Week with Free the artist. He's a I'm a fashion designer when it comes to a lot of things that I do. So like I was supposed to be out there for with my clothing that I'm trying to have promote and keep on going forward, but you know, doing all these different events don't give me the opportunity to make it to New York that often or that quickly, But so I was just curious if you had the opportunity since you were out there in New York, if you or even if you like, I don't know if that might be anything you're might interested in, but it was the NYFW.
I did not go to it. I did see it. I am all things blockchain. Um, but I did not go to it. What I ended up going to, the last big thing I went to was just Crypto Monday. Um, the last one that I went to was with, oh my gosh, why am I having a blank on his name? Dr. Alex Hanna. Um, and he was talking. We were talking about DIDs, digital identities, and personal personal ownership of information. And so the side piece of that was what he is doing because he works for the UN as a doctor in third world countries, bringing healthcare data on chain, or if not on chain, onto decentralized platforms so that information can be accessed by all. And so he works really hard, and it was really good to sort of to sit and meet with him, and but got to do a quick interview with him on that TacoBytes that night as well. And so I have to go back and find the. I think that was episode 180. Um, it was either 180 or 181. Um, got to interview him for a good piece of minute. But one of the things that he was talking about was um, the reason he's able to do that and why he believes in blockchain being the solution is that in the meantime, uh, he is able he looking at him, he's like, I'm fat, I'm bald, and I'm white, and I know how to talk how they talk. So they're not intimidated by, some person named like Player One Taco or something along those lines that they might think is just really trying to show them off. And so um, he liked that piece to that, but he really was working hard on um, bringing that about because that will bring personal ownership of um, of pieces like that. So yeah, um, pretty good, pretty good stuff there.
That's out there in New York. They got Crypto Mondays out there because I know they have
Yep,
them like it seems like they got them everywhere. They have 'em in Miami. They got them in LA. Yeah, okay, so that's
yep.
cool. That's cool. That's that.
Yeah, Crypto Monday started in New York, and then the next one that sprouted up was in Paris, and then they started going out from there and expanding, working at helping set up one in Las Vegas. But yeah, no, they are pretty much everywhere, which is really really cool to see. So that's some fun stuff there. All right, hey Denny, so do you have your pen and paper ready, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, uh, we're gonna start with FTM. And number one, the first number you're going to write down is 1031. And the second number you're going to write down is, if I can scroll that fast, oh, oh, is 7574. Oh, no, 7572. I apologize. I forgot to subtract 2 from that number. And then let's see here. So what those are is that first number is how many wallets. The second number is how many total wallets are on FTM holding Zen, and the first number is how many wallets are holding Zen that hold Zen on other chains as well. All right. Are you ready for the next number?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, shoot.
Okay, it's 3092.
For which one? AVAX?
I will tell you in just a second. I got to scroll all the way to the top, but I'd rather scroll to the bottom first because that's somewhat closer. I think that's for AVAX, if I remember right. And the second number is 8645. And so once again, the second number, and yep, that's for AVAX. That first number is how many wallets hold Zen that wallet also holds Zen on a different chain. The second number is the total number of wallet addresses. And then for Moonbeam, boop, boop. 1236. And boop, boop. Scroll. And the second number is 9243. So once again, that second number is the amount of wallets that hold Zen total on Moonbeam. And that first number is the amount of those wallets that hold Zen on a different chain. All right. Are you ready for here's a number you might like. 5261. And then the second, and that's the first number. And then the second number is 79660. So on that, and that is for ETH. So on ETH, there are 79,660 wallets holding Zen. And then that first number I gave you, I forget off the top of my head what it was, is the amount of wallets that hold Zen on a different chain. And that's for ETH. Or no, I apologize. That's not for ETH. That's for BSC. So there's 79,000 wallets on BSC. You ready for ETH's number?
Sure, what the hell? If you want to keep on going, I'm down.
I got ETH. I went through the 6 main chains that ETH is number 1 is where does the red end? 5409. So 5,409 wallets on ETH also hold Zen on different chains. And total no, we went too far. And a total of 68,222 or 21 wallets hold Zen on ETH. All right. And are you ready for Matic?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the second number for Matic is oh, did I just jumped ahead too far. The second number is 49289. So 49,289, right? Yeah. 49,289 wallets hold Zen on Matic. And the first number is 3,366. So 3,366 wallets hold Zen on Matic that also hold Zen on other chains. And that second number was the total amount of wallets that hold Zen um, above dust levels. So yeah, fun things
Yeah,
there.
these are crazy. These first three chains, the black sheep,
Yeah.
it's kind of wild looking at these numbers side by side.
So
AVAX and yeah, it's weird. It's like AVAX is more popular for people on the other chains, but kind of a vice versa thing for Phantom and Moonbeam.
yep. But more people are over there a little bit with separate wallets. So it's sort of cool stuff to see. Um, and those numbers are 10 days old.
All
That was
right.
the last time
Well,
I updated that list.
you can add another wallet onto Moonbeam because I hopped on there recently. So
Okay.
AVAX and Phantom are coming next on
Yeah.
Evmos, of course. So
Yep. Um, so, yeah, no, are you liking what bridge did you use to get to Moonbeam?
oh, I just used Change Now. I just
Okay.
bridged over some what did I do? I bridged over ETH and I bridged BSC.
Yep. Yeah, no, and that's one of the things I really like. Well, so not only like that, I like the two pieces that I like. I like Axelar's bridge, but then I use MEXC because I can send anything to MEXC and I can change it into anything, and then I can send it right off. Um, and best thing about it, don't have to KYC. Only have to use my email. So um,
Really? I thought you had to. I didn't realize U.S. citizens could get involved in MEXC.
yes, only use your email, and it will limit you to uh, 80 Bitcoin worth of withdrawals per day.
Oh
Um,
wow! Well, I can't. No, that's just too
I don't
small
know
for
I
me.
don't know what your pocket looks like, and I don't need to know. I'm going to just dream that I know people that would limit, and so I'm going to dream that that's going to limit you, but you'll take it. Uh, if you want to help me at all, I have 40% off trading fees for anyone that uses my registration link that I just threw up in the jumbotron. Uh, those are one of the weird ways that I make extra income to throw into the market on super stupid longs and longs, because I don't really like shorting things. I like to have an optimistic window. Um, but yeah, Mexi, you can download it on the app, or you can use it as a web browser, and you can do whatever the heck you want on it. Just use your email to sign up with. And if you really want to put what country you're in, just say you're in Canada. You know, you don't even
Yeah,
have to
that's
put.
wild. Are you using a VPN or something?
Nope. That
Huh. Well, I'm sure they know all my everything, if even if I just gave them an email, but
you can go make a Gmail. You know, the worst thing you have to do, the hardest thing you have to do with MEXC is you have to 2FA, with the Google Authenticator.
yeah.
But, you know, yeah, you can. I literally go and make. I go to a lot of MEXC events because I work with the MEXC team on getting tokens listed. Um, and so uh, that is, um, yeah, that's sort of. And so when they do that, they'll have like different events. So like when we had the Zen Friends meetup in New York, one of the things that I was working on doing, that I might be able to have done either in Denver or the next New York Zen Friends meetup, is have MEXC come in as a little bit of a sponsor for that. And all you need to do is, if you have a new email, you can just set up a new email account, and we'll make a MEXC account for people for trading and stuff like that, and learn about futures trading or just regular spot trading. You know, not everyone
Oh,
needs to get
dude,
into futures.
that would be epic. Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, no, that's one of the things I'm working on. And yeah,
Hey,
so
have you had anybody asking you about the West Coast at all? I might be down in the Bay Area this weekend.
no, no one's reached out yet to put anything get together there. Um, if anyone needs help putting something together there, I'm happy to do it remotely. Um, if you are able to find a venue where you can host it, or even like a diner, and it doesn't have to be a huge thing. It could be a coffee shop, and see who shows up, and talk from there. If you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
help setting that up,
just go chill out somewhere, kind of an impromptu thing, It'd be obviously be short notice if I was going to be down there this weekend, but
yeah. Hey, you never know. It's I put um my Degen takeover event. I put it out 28 hours before not even 28 hours before it happened, because I just took over the Solana embassy at Hudson Yards. Uh, gave it like 26 20 24 20 hours worth of leeway before the event. And yeah, no, I think it was 26 hours. Had like 30 people sign up. And of those 30 people that signed up, 10 of them ended up coming. And I think some of the people that signed up were out of the country and stuff, just because I sent it to a lot of my friends and stuff like that as well for invites. So yeah.
yeah, I would imagine. I mean, obviously everybody's not like me, but I would imagine people would be willing to drive, you know, 4 or 5 hours or something, maybe get a hotel room, chill out for the weekend, this and that.
Yeah, no, that way we would want to put together like a larger event, and like give it like, build out for like 6 months, to give people time. And that's something that we could do. Talk to Sun Tzu about that and see, if something could go on with that. So that would be cool, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it's easier for me because I'm not I don't have kids and job life and all that stuff. So,
Oh,
but I mean, shit, drive out on a Friday night, get a room, drive back home on Sunday or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how flexible people are.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's sort of fun, the smaller conferences that, are more targeted and just sort of speakers on it and sort of something fun to do, you know. So, um it's those things can be blasts. Um one of the funnest conferences I went to, the smallest conferences I went to was Coin Agenda. There was maybe about 150 people there for it. Um but and all the talks were in one part was were in one ballroom, um, but it was filled to the brim. And then there was other ballrooms for, like, eating and stuff set aside, and one was set aside for media rooms, and one was set aside for vendors. So it was pretty cool to do that, you know, and have that set up. So yeah, no, that's definitely something that can be put up and can be talked about getting put together. So yeah. How's the life on Zen been going for you? Did you get any of
Yeah, pretty
the
good.
freaky corns?
Freaky corns. What the hell is that?
Instead of the Zunicorns, I'm calling the OGs. Did you get
Oh,
any of the
no, I'm just running the Centurions and lower right now. So
Okay. Yeah, no, I was able to grab a couple of them by minting through the contract. Um, so that was sort of fun, but then had a couple failed transactions, and I was like, yeah, I'm done for now. Um, but yeah, um, last day I've been having to do a heck ton of mints on Polygon. Have a lot of claims going through. So yeah, that's been a fun piece. Been liking the LP
I
pool
spent
fees though.
uh, I spent a couple hours minting. I finally said, all right, I'll give CoinTool a shot, and was minting on Moonbeam last night for a couple hours.
Nice. Yeah, Moonbeam.
Those other chains, man, people are shying away from them. But if I heard, who was it in here? Was it Building? Yeah, yeah. I think you were talking about a video game and stuff like that. Like those other chains, man. That's what that's all about, is video games. And it's people don't feel weird about spending, you know a one utilizing a 1 cent transaction,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's just like those video games. I have video games on my brain right now because we're kind of helping this other dev out with this game that just came out. But I mean, that kind of stuff can get big.
Win
So
is it a win to earn game? Is it on
yeah,
chain?
yeah. It's still kind of he's still kind of I don't know, he might spin things around. I don't know if he's going to need to launch a different contract or something eventually, but still kind of being worked out. He might have launched it a little early,
Okay.
but that's okay. There's still it's obviously an evolution and a building process that takes a lot of time. So
Yeah. What's the game called?
oh, it's what is it? Xenmorph Apocalypse. It's like scary
Okay.
monsters tearing each other's faces off and shit.
Okay.
um,
In the Zen ecosystem, or
yeah, yeah. It's
okay.
0x Sorcerer. You might be familiar.
Okay.
You might see him in like the Zen Daps channel or something. But it's kind of rough around the edges right now, but it works. Me and Honeydeals have been goofing around on it and chatting with him a bit, and
Can you
it's definitely
can you
moving
invite
forward. So
can you invite me to the DAPS Telegram channel? I think I was invited to it, but I think I left it because I thought I'd got invited to a bunch of Zen airdrop channels that were like had fake jacks and had fake people in them and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm
Oh
just not
yeah.
going for this. So yeah,
I'm
uh,
surprised I haven't been invited to any of those scams. Not
do you
one.
have your do you have your DMs do you have your DMs closed where people can't add you to groups?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I see for my line of
I
business.
still get invites. I still get added to groups though, but none of them
Oh,
have been. Well, actually, I
okay,
take that back. Like months ago, I got added to some Scam Zen group, but that was it.
yeah, yeah. I got added to a bunch of them for a minute, and I haven't even had the time to go through and scrape out of all of them yet. Just mute them. So I don't know. It's been fun. But always got to remind people to be safe, and um, it was a good thing that Six Star Sexy Burger was talking on today on you know people launch projects, trying to ride on other people's hype, just to sort of take advantage of the community and stuff like that. And I remember, when Zen Heads sort of, launched and stuff, and then, nothing came from that. So yeah, it sucks when that happens. People see opportunity and they take advantage of it.
Yeah, I actually was able to catch that last part and heard him speak of that. And when I send you the link to that DAPS chat, you'll probably see some spots where a couple of the guys are getting called out by some of us. So
Yeah,
transparency is big, man. If you know, I don't expect every single project to be built on first principles.
yeah,
Like that and that's okay. That doesn't mean that it's a scam, right?
yeah,
But if people aren't being transparent about stuff, these developers and all of that, then that's a huge red flag. If people jump into their Telegram groups and ask them legit questions without straight up calling them scammers and, all of that shit without, I mean, you know how that goes.
yeah,
People just rolling in, they don't know anything about anything and they start calling scam. It's like, that's not cool. If the developers or whoever want to ban them, so be it. Like, dude, you got to kind of respect the space. Like, anyway, but if people go in and ask questions, legitimate, honest questions, and they start getting banned or shut down and shit, that's a red flag. So,
yeah,
in that DAPS chat, obviously the Zen team is not responsible for shit going on in there. Like, like I'm an admin in there, right? But like, I'm just in there to make sure people aren't being dicks to each other.
yeah,
There's going to be scams rolling in there. And in the rules, it's encouraged. Like if people think that they see a scam or if they feel like they've been scammed or whatever, like they're encouraged to point it out to everybody.
yeah,
Because, I mean, what it boils down to is all of this crap riding on other projects, whether it's Zen or not, like it's just getting old, man.
yeah,
And the best way we can like get rid of it, the best we can, is just not get involved and just tell them what we think. Ask them straight questions, show them why we're not going to get involved. Other people will read those responses and just let it be at that.
yeah. And it does come to part of the do your own research piece, but it also means that um, if I t- uh, you know if I tell you the stove is hot, don't touch it. You don't have to go test that theory yourself. But a lot of people want to, and that's people's choice too. You know, so and that's part of that too. Like what I was talking about today was, People are talking about being investors in Zen and stuff like that. I'm like, I hate to say this, and I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but if you are not an accredited investor, do not say that you are an investor in Zen or in any project, because if the SEC wants to go buck wild, it will pull stuff like that, and it will say like, hey, your community said that they were investors in your project and you didn't correct them. So you're not arguing that fact. So you agree, that means you agree with it. And so you sort of classify yourself as a security by that fact. So it sort of
Yeah,
sucks.
sorry, go ahead. I cut you off there.
Oh, I was gonna. It sucks, but it's just one of those verbiage changes. We have to be cognizant of that. We can damage, people can damage projects, if they don't future think on that stuff without intending to, you know. So, do you go invest in things? Sure. But calling people investors or saying you're an investor, it, what you say in your head is completely different than what you should be saying out loud.
Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. On the other hand, we're not in a court of law. People can say whatever the hell they want, whether they understand what the legal lingo is or not.
It's
It is one thing maybe if the Zen like Jack himself were speaking in that kind of those kinds of contexts. I can definitely see that, but just some Yahoo guy like me coming on to a Twitter chat and talking about how I've invested in Zen, you really think the SEC like that would hold any water in the court of law?
So the SEC is the court of law, and the number one thing that they do is right now they're not making regulation for the simple fact to regulate as they see fit. And so what they do to projects is they freeze people's personal and public funds, and then they say, "Come fight us with you both hands tied behind your back."
Oh yeah,
And so
definitely.
look at what like they just did to Kraken. Kraken's been around for 12 years. They've been offering staking as a service for 4 years now. Um, and I looked at the actual SEC complaint, and the reason why the SEC said that they had jurisdiction over that was that of the $130 million that was deposited into their staking as a service platform, roughly 45 million of it was from U.S. citizens as the largest concentration of stakers. That the SEC had jurisdiction, and they said that, and because of that 45 out of that 45 million, roughly 14.5 million dollars was paid to those people as interest. So people earned a 31 were earning was earning had earned a 31% interest on their deposits. And so what Kraken was doing was they were taking money profits from other parts of their company, and they were putting them as incentives for people to come stake with them. And so
Oh
and
God.
so they were
Oh yeah,
taking
of
money
course they
that they
were.
had earned. No, Kraken was taking money from like trading fees. So money that they earned, their money, not any user fees, not any user money. See,
Okay.
this is what they weren't doing anything nefarious. They were taking their money that they earned for, as trading fees, their cut of the pie, and they were using it. So they were using their profit, Kraken's profits, to pay to other users to incentivize them to come stake with them. Because the
Got
idea
it.
behind it
Yeah.
is, hey, if you come stake with us, you'll use our platform, and and you know, they look at the
Yeah,
long
they're
term
bringing in customers and keeping customers. I get it.
stickiness. And so what what the SEC said was because they were paying out so much interest, it made, and one of the arguments they used was because they were paying out so much interest, it makes them a security. The other thing that they were saying is that because they were commingling funds. Well, you really can't commingle funds in a smart contract in a way. You sort of do, but you also sort of have an individual ticker for everyone. And so uh, that's sort of where uh, the the SEC said that they were pooling money, which is done as securities. And I'm like, well, banks pool money, and the interest you earn on a bank account isn't paid out, isn't considered a security. And then, Coinbase has started to fight that, as well as a couple other big protocols have sort of stepped up and said that that's not right. But what they did is they fined Kraken $30 million and then, ordered them to stop doing that. There's no regulation saying that they can't be doing they're doing what they're doing, but because they were paying above average, which average interest is 0.01% or so. The Securities Exchange Commission, sort of labeled that as a security, and that they were doing it to protect users' funds. Yet there hasn't, in the 12 years that Kraken has been operating, there hasn't been anything nefarious. You know, they were actually working. They were working towards getting fully on-chain audit pieces done and be transparent. Yet when companies are trying to be transparent and do right, or do as right as you can, it, that's sort of one of those things where you go knocking on the SEC's door and say, "Hey, look at me, so I can I want to make sure I'm doing this right." There's no regulation in place. The SEC can do whatever the heck it wants, and so they did the same thing with Library Token, um, and they've done it with a couple other ones where people have gone to the SEC "Hey, I want to do this right. Can you tell us if this is right?" And SEC will be like, "Sorry, we can't tell you that's right." And then 2 years later, come back and frickin' they'll be like, "Hey, we can't make any comment on this." Um, and then they'll come back a few years later and say "Hey, you owe us fines for doing this thing that we now deem as a security, or violates our interpretation," because there's no regulation to be put in place. And so what they've been using in a lot of these cases is the Dictionary Act, which allows them, if something isn't clearly defined, for them to define it based off of users' verbiage. So if users are verbalizing that they are investors, and if you're not an accredited investor, you're technically not an investor. You might have investments, but you're not an investor. But if you're doing it at accredited platforms, that's okay. People have a fiduciary responsibility to you. But when it comes to sort of DeFi, since regulation isn't allowed, it becomes that gray, leaning towards the white, but then it allows the SEC to sort of do what it wants. So it can hurt a project.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you. It's a shame, but it's what we got to work with right now. So
Yeah.
doesn't
So
mean it always needs to be that way.
yeah. So it just comes down to verbiage, a little bit, because really, if you look at it, you're not investing in Zen. You're straight up burning gas, and you get Zen as a result.
Yeah, Zen is on a totally different level than most stuff out there.
Yeah. So, I think the ordinals piece with Bitcoin is interesting stuff, but I think I'll be honest, I feel that it's a distraction. The only thing where it's cool is that It would get someone that might not have Bitcoin, get them a piece of Bitcoin. The thing with sat ordinals though is, let's say you had like a one of those expensive pennies, you know, buffalo head or whatever. I don't some rare penny, and then you throw that penny in with a million other pennies. You have to go one by one through all of those pennies to find that one penny again, or you just have $1,000, $10,000, right? Yeah, something like that. No, 100,000. Yeah, no, $10,000. And so it's cool. It's a one-off thing. It will get people, if it gets people comfortable enough with Bitcoin to go buy some, that's amazing for them to DCA into. But I don't know. I sort of feel that it's a distraction unless a bigger play comes out on it. What are your guys' thoughts? TB, thoughts on that?
I think it's a much bigger play. Yeah, yeah, way bigger play, way bigger play. I don't see it yet, but I could already see things kind of. I can't describe it. It. Um. I think we're basically. I speak for myself. I think I underestimated Jack. And that's not to say I fucking underestimated him. As in, I just as much credit as I give him, I don't think I give him enough credit. Um. I think it's big, huge because so the ordinals are one thing, right?
Yep.
But how Jack might use them is another thing, right?
Yep.
Um, I really don't know what he's up to. I really don't know, and I'm excited by it. Uh, here's what I'll say to it. I'm you have to have faith. Here's my opinion on it. You have to have faith to take his word on it. But he said it's peer to peer for the people. Okay, I think there's mechanics that have and infrastructure and whatnot that have to be laid out, and that's what he's doing. I've kind of seen other people try and build infrastructure, and it's good. They build this and that and the other thing, and they're great, right? But this is different. Jack's actually building it, like not like before. I don't see it as before. I think it's going to be huge, huge because I think he has a plan. I don't know what it is, but he has a plan. I think he actually wants us all to have Satoshis as well, like for sure, which
Yeah.
is which is crazy. It is crazy. Um, Come here. I have one question on that. I have one question on it since it came up with the ordinals.
Yeah.
If if let's say so, I'm only just after researching it now, is all right. But if 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 the input is let's say half the block size, right, 2 MB, right,
Yep.
and it's run through and that's that. Can can that other 2 meg be
No,
tapped
because
into later?
other transactions can happen on that piece. Some of the infographics are really good at sort of explaining how that looks and what that looks like. Um, I'm trying to see if I have any of them um
I'll
on
tell you what
hand.
I'm wondering. I'll tell you what I'm wondering. Actually, Denizen, is it you that had the math? I think it might
Yeah.
have been Denizen.
Now,
Denizen.
are you asking if the Satoshi can be inscribed twice on two different occasions? Is that what you're asking?
No, essentially what I'm trying to ask is, do you remember the formula that you had about the maximum capacity of the 4
Yeah.
megabytes multiplied
It's
by?
kind of like a read-only memory, like a computer,
Do
you
you
know.
have do you have that math in front of you or near you?
I do. I can pull it up in about 2 seconds here, just a minute.
Amazing.
While I'm walking over there, you were talking about what maybe might be on Jack's mind. And that kind of made me think, so what was the original intention of Bitcoin? Was it for digital peer-to-peer?
Purely peer-to-peer. Purely peer-to-peer. So
right.
purely peer-to-peer, right? Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the same path here right now. So now with these ordinals, what we're doing is we're taking, like, we're staking Zen, for example, right? So we have a value from one network. And we're somehow, who knows how it's all going to play out, blah, blah, blah. But eventually we're going to wind up on Bitcoin and inscribing one Satoshi on Bitcoin. Now, would that help? Now, there's going to be, okay, I'm right in front of it now. How many Satoshis are there? When Bitcoin is at its end of, it's minting in 100 or 1,000 years or whatever, there's going to be approximately 2.1 quadrillion Satoshi, right? So there's 21 million Bitcoin that's going to be around, and there's 100 million Satoshi per Bitcoin. So that's 2.1 quadrillion units that could be exchanged, right? So now what if you somehow attached an additional value to that Satoshi, right? So instead of, okay, what is Bitcoin at? Let's say $20,000. 20,000 divided by 100 million equals 0.00022. What if you were somehow able to grab some value from somewhere else and attach it to that Satoshi?
Like a staked Zen FT, right? That's the idea, I think, isn't it?
Right. So they're talking about these ordinal artifacts, like you're going to need Zen and stake Zen or burn Zen or something like that in order to participate in this Zentoshi contract. And I don't know how it all. I've seen what you guys have seen. All I've seen is that little flow chart and read some stuff about ordinals, and that's it. But it's obviously bringing more value to Bitcoin, and I wonder if he's actually trying to turn Bitcoin back into what it was originally intended to do with this, is be a peer-to-peer,
I'll be honest. Today, when I got out of the shower earlier, I fucking thought in my head something clicked that like, that's exactly what he's doing. He is not. That's one of the things he's doing in my mind now. He's actually trying to fix Bitcoin, I think.
Could be, man. Could be. And oh yeah, you asked about the data thing. So at a maximum block size of 4 megabytes, which is crazy. So I hear. At 4 megabytes, that would be the equivalent of 8 trillion terabytes of data storage. So if you think of Bitcoin as like a read-only memory, like in your computer, like you can't do anything about it. It's just like this permanent memory kind of thing. It could hold between 4 and 8 trillion terabytes theoretically.
Do you see my question now, Taco, about how much of the input gets used per instance?
Yeah, and so its maximum value isn't always extracted out of each block size.
I think it might
Um,
be for these. I think everyone's wrong on this. I think why is it not?
so I put a one of the good flow pieces. I'm trying to find the other tweet of what a normal block looks like, and then what one looks like after it's gone through, been done through ordinal of rearrangement, basically, um, to where different transaction sizes take up different block sizes, um, and so it's one of those things to it shows what a rearranged block can look like for one transaction piece. So it's one of those things to where um, there's it two solid blocks wouldn't necessarily fit right because um, I think they have to be proportional for some reason. I remember reading one time, um, and so like because like someone was saying like, well, couldn't because there's so many other transactions happening. Like if it was a node that one person controlled all themselves, and the order was meant, like either fit as many transactions into a block as possible or fill up a block with as much data as possible with the least amount of transactions, that's when then something like that could happen. But really, right now, what it's at is as many transactions as possible within a block.
Did you
So
hear? Did you hear Jack say he was looking for a node? Not looking for a node, but you know what I mean. Coming for a node.
yeah, he's I think he started one up. Um, but
Great,
that's
cool.
just adding to the hash power of the Bitcoin network. So and it doesn't, what he could end up doing then would be like maybe a fork of Bitcoin. It's been done before, but then it doesn't actually truly provide any value to the Bitcoin network. You just have your own version of Bitcoin running. And
That would be the schniz. I would be down with that.
Like Zen Bitcoin. Like, oh my God, can you imagine? But before I forget, I had a
I wouldn't
question
be
there.
down with that. I will be honest. That in my opinion, yes, imitation is the greatest flattery, but there's only people wouldn't put up. You can make a copy of Bitcoin and run it. People have done that many times. Um, but um,
I have a question. What would happen if he
Yeah.
did it? What if he did it without asking the Bitcoiners' permission?
it's
How
open
violent?
source.
What?
It's open source. So if you're no one else would be running that same network for you though. So it's like
Did you hear
if
about the one? Sorry to cut you off. I thought what the thing I was wanted to know was, did you hear about the one block that they did nearly fill? They put it to like 3.75.
yeah,
They near. Yeah.
I think I've just posted that up to the Jumbotron.
Oh wow. But did you post how much it cost that block?
I did not.
Do you know?
Um, I do not know
I
how
you
much.
better you
I
better
think.
look
Oh yeah.
into it. But I heard it was free. I heard that there
Uh,
was. I heard that
I
there was
this
a lot
this
of talk about it.
if this is the
Oh, invite
it
TJ up. I keep meaning to say this. Sorry, I don't mean to tell you what to do. Invite TJ up in case he has something to
oh
contribute here.
yeah, no, I sent TJ an invite a minute ago.
Okay, okay,
I'll
okay.
send it. Yeah,
He
but
could be busy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He knows
it's
more about it than me. Just yeah.
I think this one cost. It looks like it costs 6.823 Bitcoin to do.
Yikes.
Did you hear about the one? I'll go get the data more precisely, but you didn't hear about the one that was nearly full with input that was free to cause the ruckus, no?
No,
I'll get the details. I'll come back with the details.
okay,
Forget it for
yeah.
now.
One question I have, and I need to write it down to go try to find it, is can are these Satoshis only be are they only able to be inscribed when a block is being built? Or can you take Bitcoin that already exists and somehow pull one Satoshi out of your bag and inscribe that?
So that's the thing that we're um I would have to look deeper into the theory. My understanding of it is you couldn't because like I'd said earlier, you know, you have one penny and then um you throw it in with, you know, a total of a million pennies that automatically become one piece. You would know where that one piece would be where it's at, but I don't think you could like say I only want to send this piece. The few guys I know of like that have moved that have gotten stuff and done those have like just put it in a wallet all by itself.
Okay, interesting. And so all these little details, it's I have mixed thoughts about it myself. I wonder if it's just gonna be another fad kind of thing, or if it's actually bringing some sort of value. I'm not a fan of the monkey pictures. I know a lot of people are, but obviously these ordinals could be utilized for something other than that. But
Yeah.
I just wonder. I mean, is it just Jack wanting to bring uh, attention to the Zen network, for example? Like I don't know.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think. He's going to trick us all into using it, and then he will reveal like his master plan. He'll be like, "Haha, look what I have for you." Like it's going to be something wild. Like after the fact, there's something coming. I don't know how to describe it. I can see like um, it's like something must fit into. It's so big. It must be going there. There has to be logic there. It's silly to assume no logic.
Yeah. What is this? Let's see here. Let's hash this out as uh ordinal ordinals theory.
Oh, hey Taco, I sent you a link in Telegram to that DApps chat.
Okay.
That's me. That's me. Don't report me, please.
No, no, no. Let's see here. Um, I see that hand, TJ. How are you, sir?
Good, brother. Yourself? How you been?
Busy. It has been a busy week. Just I've been doing quick taco bites, quick bites the last couple nights. So it's sort of good to sort of keep a show going for a minute. Um,
I
you
was going to
know.
say you've been on the road, mate. I've been listening to all your interviews.
Yeah, yep. They've been good ones so far. Um, been getting some good pieces in. And Denny, I just put up the docs for Ordinal's theory as well up in the Jumbotron.
Do you guys know, speaking of the ordinals, do you know how much of a discount they're currently getting versus normal fees on BTC Network?
I do not.
Because
Um,
I know there's a bit of an issue going around that there is a huge discount. Um, I don't know if any proposals have gone through yet to change that, but they the storage that they're taking up in the blocks, there is some sort of discount. I'm just curious to what that is, um, and whether these miners are going to start to react. I mean, they've done $600,000 in ordinals over the last 2 months, which is kind of quite interesting. It's a lot of money there. So I'd hate to see any. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. Is it 20%? Is it 50% cheaper? Um, just
That I
trying to
do
find
not
some
know.
info.
Um, if you so the introduction line that I just um, pulls out more for overviews and inscriptions. Takes you has links to the GitHub and the Discord and the mainnet block explorer as well. And so they sort of talk about um, you know more unusual use cases are like off-chain colored coins, public key infrastructure with key rotation, decentralized replacement for the DNS. Um, and it's saying, right now such use cases are speculative and only exist in the minds of fringe ordinal theorists. But they have a good links for inscriptions and overviews and next steps. Um, yeah. So you do requires a Bitcoin full node to give you a view of the current state of the Bitcoin blockchain and a wallet that can create inscriptions. If I remember right, one of the wallets that can do that is Sparrow. And then when and perform SAT control when constructing transactions to send inscriptions to another wallet. So basically, you have two wallets that transact with each other. That you're sending it from like your left pocket to your right pocket with the complete instructions on that's then carried over into the blockchain. Or doesn't so ORD wallets subcommands interact with Bitcoin core wallets. So yep. With ORD wallet send. So full GitHub and stuff like that for relevant issues and descriptions. Um, yeah, some good reading there, though, on that piece. But it's one of those things where, like, yes, there could be a bigger play at hand. Is it something like where, um, I think of more of like the waterfall effect? All chains lead to X1 in some way. That could be in my mind. That could be more of the theory on that. So expanding the spider web of reach, so to say, and not necessarily not in a nefarious way at all. That like when people say like the spider web of something may sound like, but I think Jack's just trying to collect people from everywhere. You know, um, sort of started with like the Hex community because there was a lot of smart people with nothing to do because they'd only been tied to Hex, and that was really all that they're you know really smart individuals and they had listened to and they'd learned a lot, but they had only sort of just dipped their toe in one thing, and it was really easy to say like, hey, while you're waiting for Hex or for Pulse Chain, here's something new, you know, um, and so I think that might have been where that helped start a lot of peace. But then, like, how do we get involvement from other chains? Let's expand the chain usage, you know, um, where, a lot of this, I think a lot of this isn't necessarily um, late night, theories that lead to something. I think Jack came to this with, Jack and team came with a decent roadmap of implementation, but then at the same time, very hyper aware of when and where they could pivot to bring more people into the X1 ecosystem in the future, but the Zen ecosystem now. And I think the ordinals it will be that thing, So very interesting to see that expand out.
Hey man, do you plan on hosting for a bit longer tonight? I was thinking about posting this up in the Telegram chat. Maybe some other people could hop in if they want.
Yeah, going for about 20 more minutes than call this a night tonight. I think 2.5 hours tonight.
Yeah,
Being respectful
maybe
of people's
next time.
times. It is almost 2 o'clock, 2 a.m.
Oh
Eastern
God, you're
Standard
right.
Time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
So
maybe next time.
yeah, definitely. But it's one of those things. People are always love the conversation piece on all of it. And Six, I see you there. Welcome, Six. Uh, Zen Clant, I see you there as well. Welcome. So, um, it's one of those things where, uh, you know, Six, we were talking on this earlier. It was a good call out today on what you were talking about on devs, or other projects using the hype of Zen to try to, basically pump their bags and dip, you know. um, just by based on the name. So good to see you stepping out on that and calling that out when you see that. And Denny, I know you were talking about you doing the same thing. So good calls to both of you guys on doing that. So yeah, but that sort of fills that space in tonight. And we'll do a quick round the horn. TB thoughts so far on everything with Zen going on. And where are you? What chain are you most bullish on?
Avalanche.
Exactly.
Why TB? Why Avalanche?
Simple waters.
What was that? Simple Waters?
Yeah, yeah. He started this trend where we all started whispering avalanche. Just like
Okay.
for the last week, we've been doing it pretty constantly in the spaces, and it's just a bit of fun, right? Um,
I did not know that had been a planned thing going on more than and I have a lot of love for Avalanche right now. Um, one of my friends' projects is getting DeFi projects is getting ready to launch on Avalanche, which you know um, I really like some of that stuff. They're partnering. They started partnering up with like Alchemist, but they're basically making an over collateralized, self repaying, non liquidating uh, loan DeFi protocol. So you go lock up $100 in a yield farmer through them, and you borrow $50. That $100 pays for itself, pays off that loan, and then automatically returns to your wallet once it's cleared out, or you pay it off early with no penalty. But you basically get your interest up front that it would yield for you. So stuff like that like really floats my boat.
yeah, I'll ask you about that again for sure.
Yeah.
Come here. I did have what was it? No, come back to me. I can't think of that. Oh yeah, I thought of it. Do you know what chain I do like? Telos. Because do you know the way Telos works? First in, first out.
Yeah, it's uh Telos does yeah, they do sequential order processing with um but batched at the same time. And they do execution with final settlement off chain.
I fucking love you, Taco. I swear it's amazing. So you'll understand probably why I'm excited about. Shut up. Why I'm excited about. Hang on a second. Shh. You'll understand why I'm excited about Zen going on Telos because isn't it just like the actual Zen contract again? Do you understand? Because there's no front running period. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
It's like the original proposition. It's not for everyone, but it's the actual onboarding tool. I think it's the onboarding tool.
yeah.
One of them,
It,
a big one.
yeah, no, um it's I could see that, you know. I haven't done a lot there. Um yeah, I would have to go um I might have a wallet somewhere. Um yeah. I'd have to go see if see I got it somewhere, I think. Um
There's only one bad thing
but yeah,
about it, to be honest with you.
what would that be?
That if Richard Hart was running the show, the community could vote him off the project.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say it's a bad thing, right? But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. You know, see, this is one of those things where uh, uh I like I like a lot of the old stuff Richard Hart used to speak about. Um Today I like about a quarter of what he's saying. 75% of it is the same stuff he's been repeating over and over again, which is good stuff, you know. Um but how many times are you going to remind people like I called this, I called that, or something like along those lines? But at the same time, you know, um, I do have to blame him for. I had watched an interview of Hart on Paul Barron Network. Um, that's one of my favorite YouTube channels is Paul Barron. Um, but Paul had been interviewing Richard, and then Richard talked about Charles Hoskinson. And when I was in Miami for Quantum Miami, I got picked to be on um, a blockchain trivia contest against two other Degens. Um, and I was on a roll getting correct questions right. And then the question was like, who was the creator of Ada? And I hit my buzzer before everyone else. Like it became a good race. Um, but because I had that interview in my mind of where Richard had been talking about Charles, I said Richard Hoskinson as the creator of Cardano. Yeah, nope, that did not fly, and so I feel bad for Charles for saying that, you know. But that was sort of hilarious. But that killed my mojo a little bit. I ended up coming back and winning the trivia contest, which was pretty amazing. Pretty cool thing to win. Um, But yeah, how many times is Richard going to repeat the same? But at the same time, how many people are going to FUD Richard for trying to do something different when they could spend their time doing so many other things? He started a really good movement. What he did wrong is he let that movement lag, you know, and got a little too big of like, now you can either eat out of what I created, or you can go do something else, and no one went and did anything else. Everyone just started to wait, and you know, it wasn't until um I think the Zen community sort of lit a fire under the Hex community in a way, which is sort of interesting to see, you know. But I don't think there should be hate or FUD from either side, personally.
I think it was just people waking up, right? Like I remember, probably the early stages of sacrifice for Pulse Chain. I was very vocal about updates, monthly updates. I want to know what's happening. Being kind of demanding, right? And that expectation back in the time was not on. You know, TJ, no expectation of the work of others. You've sacrificed your money. It was literally like that, shut down instantly. Yet now, as I said, you've seen that pivot, right? And I think it was definitely Jack related, definitely Zen related, where Richard Hart is now attempting to communicate more regularly. Well, I guess we could say he is, right? And I think that's kind of, as you said, people have just hung around and got a bit fed up, right?
Yeah. Like I've seen the Hex projects that were waiting for Pulse Chain. Um, you know, a- and I will be 100% transparent. I knew about Hex when Hex launched. I didn't participate. I didn't own any Hex. Um, I was at Pulse Chain this year, as an invited guest. Um, and I got to, get a little bit more in depth into heck the Hex projects, and then the Pulse Chain ecosystem that was building out, and a lot of the teams at like Power City got to meet and hang out with those teams. Mintra, um, meet a few other projects. Got to meet the representative for Icosa and Hedron
That was
there
out.
as
Was
well.
that Alex? Was that
So
Alex?
Alex wasn't able to come
Oh,
due
gotcha.
to personal reasons. So I didn't get to meet Alex, but I got to meet his representative there.
Nice, mate.
And uh, actually, like, I will be 100% honest, Power City is just a reformatting of like 20 different dexes, and they're doing amazing things. One of my fears with them is they're doing uh, feature creep. Like they keep trying to add these new features in, and so they're just going to keep on building because they can't launch yet, and so they might not be 100% ready when launch does happen, because they keep building in new things rather than solidifying what they have and going. That has
So
nothing to do. They're all
would that
cool.
be a risk? Would that be a risk in your eyes? Or
Um, well, what was it? It was Doom 2 that took 15 years to launch, because every like waiting for rather than just getting something out there, every time a new tech piece came out, a new had to be added into it, so everything else then had to be rearranged to fit this new tech into it. uh you know and so it's a risk in the fact that, like, if it ain't broke, why
delays
fix
and
it?
yeah.
But at the same time, like, if you offer too many things, people will be overloaded and not know, like, you know maybe start building them on the side, or putting them on the roadmap. But you know yeah, if you got to go through 40 steps just to like do one thing, That might be too much for some people, and you might lose people. But the team, don't get me wrong, can the team deliver on it? Yeah. What I'm afraid is that they'll like start rebuilding. They'll get a new idea added in, and they'll have to start rebuilding everything to integrate that. And then when Pulse launches, they won't be ready.
Got you. Yeah, that saying of coding yourself into a corner.
Yeah,
That's what we do at work, right? Yep.
yeah. And it's not because the it's just because they're trying to offer so many things to users. But then all of these things integrate in one way or another. And so if you add something else that has to integrate with everything else that was just rearranged to integrate in the new thing, how long does it take before, you integrate too much? Why not wait and perfect what you have before trying to like please everyone and you end up pleasing no one? But hey, if anyone can pull it off, the guys at Power City can, and they have my vote of confidence. But Mintra's doing some really cool stuff. Degen Sheep, was building out some cool things. But icosahedron is sort of like you know breaks the mold on like ingenuity, and what Alex is building out, is some really cool stuff. Um,
Well, he's
and
cloning Infura, Taco. I don't know if you recall that, but he's building a data center currently at the moment for
he,
Pulse
yeah,
Chain to fork Infura. Yeah.
yeah, I see that. Um, One of the things that like I'm like, you don't necessarily need to do that. There's other services out there that are better than Infura. Like I have a team at Rivet. They provide the same services Infura does at half the cost of Alchemy with more privacy than Alchemy. Their number one slogan that they have, please everyone excuse my language, but I'm just repeating their slogan, is fuck censorship. Um, Greg Lang is one of the lead devs over there in Austin. Um, they are Austin. They're two of the main guys of the team. Team of seven, if I remember right. I think they have a total of 13 people on the team, but seven core members, and they're building some really cool stuff. Well, they've built RPC privacy features that no one else is providing, and like their ethos is on cypherpunk. And so um, before MetaMask solidified its deal with Infura and locked in their RPCs for ETH and Infura, you could switch out the RPC for the Rivet RPC for total privacy. Their one of their main slogans on their front page is, if somehow we breach, if we don't do everything to protect your data, you have our permission to sue us. So um, in today's
I missed the
litigated world,
project that you're talking about here. What's the name of it?
Rivet, Rivet.
Okay, I
How
got
can
it.
we?
I actually just wrote that down. Thanks.
Yeah, their Twitter is a little weird. It's R_I_V_E_T, if I remember right.
Mate, how can we support them?
Check them out. Uh,
Okay.
you know, uh, use them. You can see if you can um, implement uh, implement any of their tech into what you're doing. You know, tell them
100%.
Taco
Mate, I'm a
sent you.
big supporter. Big supporter. I will. Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, if you look at wanting to really integrate their tech, I can connect you directly with the team on Telegram.
No, that'd be great, mate. Let me have a look and a chat to a couple of people. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, see what's there under the hood. That'd be awesome. I'm a big
yeah,
fan, mate. I'll support pretty much anything that's privacy based.
yeah. That's one of their big things. Like, what's really hilarious is while I was in Miami, um, I met the team. I've known the team for a minute because I've been seeing, they've been around for a minute. But for Giddy Wallet, which is a distributed keys Polygon wallet, um, and so they were literally were complaining about like their RPC node with Infura being down again. Um, and so connected them with it, and they were wanting to provide more privacy. Literally connected them with the team from Rivet, you know, that day. So um, it's sort of cool on what tech can do in privacy and still be provide privacy, but still provide transparency and consistency.
So, how
So
do you feel, just speaking of kind of wallets and accounts creation? I've brought it up in a few spaces. And it's interesting just to hear people's opinions. So, how do you feel about this push towards cloud hosted seeds and social logins as about, as breaking down the barriers to entry to crypto, i.e., hi mom, log in with your Facebook crap, whatever it is, and you can have a multi chain wallet in 15 seconds without downloading a single thing?
so it's pretty good stuff. I actually have a cloud wallet called Hey Wallet for Solana that uses Twitter for login. Um and so distributed key structure I think is one of those things that allowing 2FA, via like text and like, a social media and or an email is actually really good on onboarding like the moms and pops in a way. Um, they have the experience of logging into like banking apps, and like getting a text message and copying and pasting that and stuff like that. So it's not something that's out of the norm. Um, the cool thing about distributed keys is if you lose them, if you can prove ownership through the different various methods, it can be recoverable as well, So not all is lost, but also at the same time, no one else can go and find it. So um, I totally believe that it I've used it with a couple different features like Cupcake, Magic Link, um, and or like even WeLook and stuff like that for POAPs. You know, so there's a lot of different ways that it can be used. Um, you know, one of the founders I got to meet last week, his name is Peter. Um, one of the largest things that one of the largest headaches for onboarding people. What do you do with your 12 words? Write them on a piece of paper and stick them in a safety deposit box. Like that in a digital world, that's such an antiquated move, you know? Um, and so it's distributed keys and ledger technology. So Peter, um, he is the founder of Go NFT Yourself. He makes custom solution marketplaces for NFT projects. Um, and one of the things, that what inspired him to do that for projects, or anyone to just have a custom NFT marketplace was the fact that like he saw NBA Top Shots and so he partnered with Taurus Wallet, I think is what it is, or Toro Wallet. Um, that it used to be called something else. I forget off the top of my head, but it allows for distributed keys, but it allows for anyone to go and set up a wallet and, prove authentication methods, and have that without having to worry about that full 12-word structure. I interviewed 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, I interviewed an Arbitrum researcher, and one of the pieces that he's like, the next step beyond not my keys, not my crypto, is we get into such a centralized forces are regulated and actually become a force of good, that not my keys, not my problem, to where it's one of those things where he doesn't have to worry about it because he knows his crypto's safe. So there's future and there's hope on people. Distributed keys really gives that a chance, I think. So, TJ, as we do round the horn, Zen blockchain that you're the most bullish on.
Oh, I think after listening to your data, oh gosh, can't even remember the statistics. I'm going to say Phantom. There you go.
Okay. And Zenzu did confirm that Phantom is the next Zen NFT chain. So there is that. Time, I know you're not really in Zen yet, and I say yet, but out of the chains we've been talking about tonight, Polygon, BSC, ETH, Phantom, Avalanche, and Moonbeam, which one are you most bullish on out of those 6 chains?
I still like ETH.
Okay. All right. Hey, cannot knock the hard and true to the value maker, So yeah. There was a report done by Omar Baham. Sort of he was aggregating data on ETH POW. That it's actually now started to become a deflationary token in a way because of $41,000 worth of it, or 41,000. I don't remember if he said 41,000 ETH have been burned since the fork, or $41,000 worth of ETH POW has been burned, as it's no longer creating any more new blocks. So, good work on POW, but ETH is it's good to see. Denny, what do you got?
Oh man, I can't come up with a one-liner for this one. Well, all I can really say is I'm pretty heavy in ETH right now, but I'm I'm looking out into the distance here, so I'm on a couple other chains already, but it's time to start moving into the other stuff. I really don't have a favorite. I'm not more bullish on one Zen over the other. They all have their benefits. I can say fuck Dogecoin and fuck OKC, but
Yeah.
other than that, they all have their potential to different utilities. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Now if we can get like Zen tools to start monitoring the other chains as well, we would all be happy.
Zenmon
Yeah,
does.
check out Zenmon.
Ze-
Steve has done a really great job on that, man.
Okay. I actually highlighted that today to check out, so I will check that out for Zenmon. All right. Definitely. All right, Denny, final seconds, 10 seconds, words of wisdom.
Ooh, for me?
Yep.
You're talking to the wrong guy, dude.
5 seconds, words of wisdom.
Have a good night, man. I'll definitely be hopping in your chats again here when I see them. So don't forget to spread your wisdom over in the Telegram chats too, and we'll catch you
Okay.
next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Catch you next
listening.
time. Thanks. Time 10 seconds. Words of wisdom.
Words
Keep
of
your eyes on
wisdom.
the horizon, boys. We'll make it just one step at a time. That's always my words of wisdom is keep your eyes on the horizon.
All right. Good. Time.
Yeah, just take everything day by day and understand it's a journey. And it's a marathon, so just keep on going, no
All
matter
right.
what you do.
Thank you, Time. Those are good words. TJ, words of wisdom. 10 seconds.
I was, mate, not prepared, but I was going to say I'll do the knock knock.
Uh, words of wisdom on that?
None, Taco. I'll get back to you, mate. Next round, I will.
Next round. All right. TB, words of wisdom.
I wouldn't know. I would not know. I would not know. Um, I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in luck. Be ready.
All right. And as always, I have to say my words are a closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight for TacoBytes episode 186, your daily bite of Degen, talking Zen, talking beefy finance. Mech C, which doesn't do KYC. I left my sign up link up there on number first thing on the window in the Jumbotron. We talked about ordinals and Bitcoin restructuring and ordinal theory. Six Star, thank you so much for joining as well. Zen Clint, thank you as well. I hope everyone has a wonderful night that listens to this later. And with that, we leave with the best knock knock joke on the face of the planet. Knock knock.
Who's there?